The year is 1882, and shots are fired on one of Knoxville's busiest streets. Our very own Gay Street is the bloody venue for the deaths of 3 different men. The 3 men who were left dead were Joseph Mabry Sr., his son, Joseph Mabry, and Major Thomas O'Connor. As we've learned more and more of the story, several mysteries have been unveiled. To do the story full justice, first you need a little background on the characters involved. Our main character, of course, was Mr. Thomas O'Connor. Thomas O'Connor was a greedy man who was in charge of the local penitentiary and was generally disliked by the majority of the Knoxville population. He was short-tempered and seemed to have a lust for money and power. Another central character in our story, Joseph Mabry Sr., was also a prominent figure in Knoxville. However, he, like several others, had a grudge against Thomas O'Connor. As it turns out, Thomas O'Connor had plans to take Mabry's Melrose estate, creating the feud that sparked the gunfire. Yet, the story goes deeper. Now, from what we know, Thomas O'Connor was in his bank on the day of the shooting and watched as Joseph Mabry Sr. walked by his bank not only once, but twice. At this point, Thomas O'Connor grabbed his loaded shotgun, walked outside, took aim at Joseph Mabry Sr. O'Connor shot and Mabry fell to the ground. Then, Thomas O'Connor promptly walked up to Mabry and shot him point blank. Thomas O'Connor then made his way back to his bank to grab his other loaded shotgun, at which point he yelled at Mabry's friend to come out of his hiding spot. While all of this was happening, Joseph Mabry Sr.'s son walks out into the middle of Gay Street, takes aim at Thomas O'Connor with his snub-nosed pistol, and fires a shot. According to the reports in the newspaper, Mabry managed to hit O'Connor from some 50 feet away. O'Connor turned to Mabry upon being shot and fired his own double-barrel shotgun, striking Mabry and causing him to fall to the ground. While all of this sounds like it has been easily explained, there was another shot fired from the bank doorway. This mystery shot has been considered as the possible shot that killed O'Connor instead of Mabry's pistol shot. So, just who was in the bank? Well, O'Connor had 4 cousins in the bank with him that day, and his cashier, Sam House. As we discovered, Thomas O'Connor had apparently been stealing money from his bank and planned to throw the guilt upon Sam House. So, did Sam House simply see an opportunity to do away with Thomas O'Connor during all of the gunfire? Personally, outside of the theory that Sam House jumped out of the window, I believe it is more likely that one of O'Connor's nephews took a shot at Mabry Jr. Obviously, O'Connor knew something was going to happen that day, as he was prepared with 2 fully loaded shotguns. Reason leads me to believe that his 4 cousins were not just there by accident, that perhaps O'Connor had instructed them to be there as additional backup. However, the shot that was fired from one of his cousins was to no avail and had no effect in the overall murders. Consequently, I believe that history is right and that O'Connor killed both of the Mabrys, and Mabry Jr. luckily managed to kill O'Connor with his single pistol shot.